people in Iran actually are, to extent that I saw, are not that anti-foreign intervention as you might think. Like the previous war with Israel, people were not against that because they just destroyed regime centers. Everyone in the West said, "Oh, this is a war crime. This is Saddam." That was the most based bombing I've seen in my life. Like that day, I was orgasming from happiness.
They come
undercover.
You're undercover and join the protest. Even some of them lead the protest to some location, and they just trap you inside and arrest everyone.
After every protest we went, we would have like 2 sets of clothes with us. So after the protest was done, we would go somewhere and we would change the clothes so they wouldn't know this was us.
The protests in Iran are about to enter into their second week. The Ayatollah Khamenei has not really said anything until just a couple of days, just today or yesterday. He said that until now, it seems like there's been a kind of restraint or relative restraint from the regime forces and an attempt to communicate with them. Since the Ayatollah has started speaking, he's been yapping about how they are supporting America, they're being funded by America, and again, Iranians are taught by the regime to despise America. I didn't learn this until a couple of days ago, but apparently in Iran, like, in America, they do the Pledge of Allegiance. In Iran, I don't know if it's like this in every school, but at least where the regime can do it, kids get up in school every day before the class starts and they say death to America, death to Israel, and death to the United Kingdom. I did not know that. I didn't know that the United Kingdom was thrust into that. It seems like his rhetoric against the protesters is signaling towards escalation. A few dozen protesters have already died. He has described the protesters as vandals, saboteurs. Obviously, like I said, he's blaming the US for fanning the flames. So that's his first address. That's been his first address. And they had an internet blackout yesterday. It's looking big. Trump has said that he's going to get involved if the regime goes too far, but again, that could mean absolutely anything. The description, interestingly, of the protest is kind of the same anywhere. Al Jazeera has described the Ayatollah's actions as lashing out. They've actually been quite emotive with what he's doing. But you can tell that there are three things really that are kind of setting the tone for most of this. One is that the economy in Iran is not showing that much sign of being able to recover quickly. They have suffered from the sanctions being renewed in 2025 because the JCPOA, which besides America, other countries were still involved in, and the UN, I think in part was involved in it. Those sanctions on Iran got brought in after Iran started enriching their uranium beyond the points that were allowed by the JCPOA. So sanction snapbacks took place. So there were UN sanctions reimposed by the UK, France, and Germany that were from the 2015 nuclear deal. They were reimposed in 2025 September of the 12-day war, and their inflation has just been spiraling out of control ever since. They have obviously also suffered financially because of the shadow fleet being hit. That's not helping them because the Venezuelan shadow fleet is carrying blended Iranian oil quite often. Like those ships are used for shipping Iranian oil and for smuggling it past international sanctions. And they've had a water crisis. That's true as well. They have had droughts, and their axis of resistance has been severely weakened. Hezbollah have been massively weakened. The Houthis are it's not been the best couple of years for them. Hamas, obviously, not really the axis, but like more of a contractor, are still suffering. And Assad. A lot of people forget that Assad was an ally of Iran. Yeah, their economy is very, very, very weak right now, and the prospects of them resolving it. Despite this, though, they still sent quite a substantial sum to Hezbollah after the war in Lebanon with Israel. They still had money, and that's apparently been one of the talking points among people in Iran about the regime. So obviously they'll complain about the headscarf laws and the morality police and the brutal regime and the authoritarianism and the religious rules that most of them don't actually agree with. They're talking about all this stuff, and obviously the humiliation of the 12-day war and how it just made the IRGC look kind of impotent and kind of pathetic, and also a position which used to hold quite a lot of prestige in Iran socially. And then also, one of the things is, like any other country, is like, well, we are suffering with our economy here. Why are we sending all this money to Hezbollah, who didn't even who folded within a few months of fighting with Israel? So yeah, it's big. It's looking quite big. For a few, I actually believe for quite a few reasons, this is going to eclipse any other protests that have happened in Iran since the regime took over in '79. But what replaces that, we don't know. The Crown Prince, the Shah's son, has got involved. He's been telling protesters to meet up and assemble in particular areas. He's even actually given times and days for when people should go and what to chant. Some people are chanting about the economy. Some people are chanting about the Axis. Some people are chanting about death to dictators, right? So it's they've taken one of those probably familiar childhood phrases for most of them and changed it to death to dictators. It's a big curveball, you see. Yeah, I really hope they win, because if these protesters succeed, they're not going to, whatever replaces them will not be as bad as this regime. There is no way. Al Jazeera will badmouth the Iranian regime whenever they get the chance to do it. Yeah, I know, yeah. If you are ever feeling joy, they would arrest you in Tehran, Iran. Anissa, is she now posting a picture of... Oh, has she flipped? Is it? Okay. Is that what I'm looking at here? What am I looking at? It's Anissa here, isn't it? Or is someone sending this to her? I don't know how this works. Is it Instagram? Or, I don't know. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I saw this as well. That's not Anissa. Is this not Anissa up here? Anissa Jomaha. What? Whatever. She reposted it. Yeah, it looks like a repost. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's a pretty cool picture. Nice one. All right. Yeah. Iran's his economy and trade minister is actually in Lebanon right now. They're suffering like the worst economic crisis since the regime came into power, pretty much. And their minister for trade and economy is in Lebanon. Not good. Not a good look. Ouch. Anyway, we've got a couple of Iranians in the Discord, though, and I want to hear from them. Wait, hang on. Hey, red alert. Do you guys, Ali and Changal, do you guys want to talk on stream, or?
Yeah, they do.
Okay,
Awesome.
we can just do it from here if you
Pull me
want.
in as well.
Well, just stay in here. It's fine.
Oh yeah, okay.
Well, if the place gets fucking crowded, we'll leave. But yeah, okay. Yeah. So what's this? Changal, you're in Iran, right?
No, not anymore. I'm a cringe diaspora now.
Oh God. We have no real Iranians anymore. Wow. Wait, when did you leave?
It's shut down. There's no. They cannot talk to you. There's no.
Yeah,
internet.
there's not even phone communication.
Wait, did the blackout? Is it still ongoing? I thought it was brief.
I think so.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I think no, it's still ongoing. You can't even open Iranian sites. You can't even call anyone. I don't think this has happened ever before to this extent that you couldn't even call from Iran to outside. Apparently, they have cut the cell phone up completely. There's no like cellular connection anymore. Yeah, it's a very fucked up situation.
Wow. Yeah, I was going to ask if that had ever happened in 2022, but I guess it hasn't.
Not to the extent. No, and the closest thing to this was in 2019 in the petrol price protest. But this is worse than that. So yeah, this is at that time the internet was completely shut off, but there was still phone connection.
Last time in the 2019 they cut off the internet and just killed 1,500 plus people in the internet blackout.
Yeah. That was the biggest mass killings that they have done, and it's not talked about as much. Sadly,
That was in
onto the-
2022, or
2019. Yeah,
2019,
exactly. See, you
okay.
don't know about it. Yeah, that
Yeah, I
was the
don't.
bloodiest protest in the history. Yeah, because they
That's
were
what my colleague said
preeminent.
as well.
They prepared for that, so they knew they were gonna on the Friday night they're gonna increase the petrol price, and they had, for this scenario, they were ready to kill people and to cut off the internet immediately. So yeah, and Hassan Rouhani was the people of that. So at that time it was bloodier, and it was the crackdown was much heavy until whatever was before that. During the war, the 12 days, it was almost the same. So there was no internet in many places, and but you could still call from Iran to outside. I remember, like I could call people from Iran, but now I don't see anyone calling anyone. So they have completely even shut that off.
So do you have any indication that like massacres? Because I'm reading on Telegram that there's like gunfire reported here in this place, in this place, in this place.
I saw a horrible video of like 6 bodies.
Ardis Karaj.
Yeah, no Shah, no Shah, no. This video, it's Radio Fardo. I can send you. To Loner, I sent a how do I send you a Telegram link?
Yeah.
To Loner, I sent you a Wahid Online link. That guy puts very good videos. This one is on Radio Fardo. You can even check that out. I think they are on Instagram as well.
Okay.
It has. They don't show it. It's very blurred, but apparently it's like 4 or 5 people just shot.
Yeah, I think someone was saying in response to Trump as well, when he's talking about the stampeding, apparently that's like a regime talking point. Apparently they're calling it stampede.
Yeah.
That's when it's actually people being shot.
Not even the regime.
It's not even a regime.
It's something he has just made up.
Yeah, there's this guy. There's a lefty crazy guy.
No, wait.
called Farrokh
So it's not.
and he's a very.
So it's not regime people shooting protesters.
It is a regime. It is not the regime talking about that it is so retarded that these are crazy outside leftists that are saying this.
Okay.
They are saying that these are I sent you a link of this guy talking. It's in Farsi. This guy is a leftist. He's talking to the BBC, and he says that people are dying not just from stampeding. They're dying from interpersonal conflicts or some shit like that. Like they're so.
What?
They're lying so much about this, and that's bullshit. No, even I don't know how Trump got this talk. Said this out loud. This is so baffling to me about the people surrounding him.
It's crazy, chat.
Would you be able to translate if we watch this video, the Instagram one?
Sure, I have to.
I'll share screen. Yeah.
Can you live stream?
Yeah,
I'm gonna unmute you.
On Discord, you can look at it there. Yeah.
Oh, how?
You just click my
The
name,
boomer
and then
man.
there should be a watch stream.
Okay, I see you.
Yeah.
Okay.
You hear that? You ready?
Okay, I'm just gonna look at your YouTube.
Okay.
الان فکر میکنم نظام جمهوری اسلامی ایران شما آمار 10 تا دادید 10 تا در سراسر کشور این فرمان تیر ندادند اینها زیر دست و پا کشته میشن اینها در درگیری های خصوصی کشته میشن
Jesus. Even hearing it makes my blood boil. Yeah, he's I think this is from yesterday or 2 days ago. He's saying that the official death toll is 10, but they have not given the command to shoot people, even though in the same day earlier Khamenei has said that we will crack down on protests and put them in their place. So obviously that means to shoot them, right?
Yeah, he's being very inflammatory. Like he's calling them fucking American collaborators and shit.
Yeah. So and he says they have died under stampeding and they have died in personal conflict. So it means like 2 people were. I don't know what the fuck he means, but
It's like people fighting each other. They died fighting each other.
And this guy is apparently anti-regime. Like on the surface, he's an anti-regime guy. He's Farrokh Nigahtar. He's a lefty and he's a crazy regime glazer. And in the elections, he was supporting for people to go and vote, and now he has fully embraced like the kind of snake that he. It's very disgusting. Like I can't believe this shit.
I think after Khamenei's speech, they said the authorities also said that there would be no leniency. Was that right?
Yes. I heard that this was the intelligence of the Sepah that said that. I think.
I have recordings of the state TV just announcing that everyone that comes out tonight are terrorists and will be treated as such.
Jesus.
Advising people to keep their child and their kids inside. Don't let them come outside because there might be bullets flying that will hurt them somehow. And please keep them inside. That was the whole point. They were just
They're
threatening
resorting to
everyone.
threats. Yeah, they're resorting to threats to silent people. Yeah, that's obvious what they're doing. They're gambling on the fact. They're gambling that Trump is bluffing. You know, that's what they're gambling on. Like you look at Khamenei's tweets. This crazy person is just like still like on Twitter is spewing out bullshit and propaganda. And
he's non-stop taunting Trump right now on his
gambling on the
really?
fact that he's not gonna go on his promise. You know, that's what
that's not smart.
Let's have
That's
a
not
look
smart,
in the
especially
last
not
few
right now when
hours.
Trump is literally horny for a fight. I would not be trying to take him on
exactly.
now.
I don't know why he did that. That's such.
So from 4 hours ago, God willing, God will bring the feeling of victory to the hearts of all the Iranian people very soon. Our enemies don't know Iran. In the past, the US failed due to their flawed planning. Today, too, their flawed scheming will cause them to fail. Today, like the past, the US is wrong in its calculations about Iran. Today, the Iranian nation is even more equipped and armed than that day before the revolution. Both our spiritual strength and hard conventional weapons can't be compared to what we had before. The Iranian people will not tolerate the hirelings of foreign powers. All should know that the Islamic Republic of Iran, that was established with the sacrifice of several 100,000 honorable people, won't back down in the face of those causing destruction. 12-day war, U.S. president. This is all in the last 4 hours. He's been saying this.
Man, he should have thrown in the 53 coup just for memes.
Yeah, it's very. You shouldn't even show this. Like it's not even worth showing his tweet. But it's like it's these guys are not backing down an inch. It's just.
It's interesting
and now that the internet is down,
his Twitter account went quiet over the last 3 days, didn't it? And then it's just been today when he started going off. Okay.
Yeah, everyone is blacked out on other than him. Like, he has the access to tweet, and the people can't even send videos to outside.
He also removed the Iranian flag from his account.
Did he?
Oh, really?
Twitter is trying to change the Iranian flag to the old one. With the lion.
Fuck
That's why.
The lion?
Wait.
The pre-revolution one? Yeah.
The lion one.
The monarchist one.
Wait, what happens if you try to do it now then? Oh, it's not an effect.
No, it's not. I don't think it's an effect.
I don't think it's changed.
I'm not sure if it's changed yet.
Because this is a tip. If you want to know who is a regime supporter and is like an anti-Iranian guy, basically, you can see if they have a flag anywhere in their account. A flag doesn't mean it's a pro-Iranian guy ever. Like when you have a flag of the emoji, that's always indication that this guy is pro-regime, because the flag is not it's a symbol of the regime, not the people.
So how do you see it?
Like decorations on around the white, like related to the IRGC too, right?
Text in Arabic.
It's the Islamic Revolution. That's the decoration. Is the Islamic Revolution.
You can see the video of the people shot, and I sent it to the general chat. I don't know if you can see it or not.
Also, by the way, just to clarify, Toby is pointing this out, but people should probably stop joining because it's getting kind of full in here, and she's kind of.
I did say they're just not going to listen. They're fucking retards. It's fine.
So
whatever.
yeah.
I will get aggressive though if people start abusing. Okay, hang on.
Sorry, I didn't hear. I'm leaving.
Okay.
Good man. Should have just left
just
quietly,
wanted to make sure.
just so you know. Fuck. All right, whatever.
Just want to make sure our Canadian has representation. So
wait, what am I looking for here in the Discord general chat? What am I looking for?
In the same voice chat that we are in.
Oh, in the text chat of it. Okay.
Yeah.
I see. The side chat we call that. I see. Gotcha.
I can't send a Telegram, or I think it's also on their website as well. If you go to Radio Fire, though, these guys are usually not bad. Like they have good.
This is from today. What you sent?
I think it's from yesterday.
I have the second perspective.
Oh yeah, the fucking bodies blur. Okay, well, yeah, not safe for. Well, actually, it's blurred, but Yeah, I just saw the blurred footage. I didn't know it was the picture of the bodies, but okay. It's blurred.
I
but
do have to
I
ask
sent
Iran.
My bad.
the second perspective, but don't show
Is-
it to your stream.
Well,
This
I
is
just
from
did. It's
yesterday.
okay, it's blurred. Fine.
Yeah, sorry if I.
That's fine. That's fine.
I do feel like asking though, just for the Iranians in here, is there any like old school like pro monarchy sentiment in the country, or is that just like a meme? Because I hear this a lot, and I
Absolutely, yeah. There is a pro-monarchy sentiment. Yeah, people
really
love the
interesting.
previous regime.
Like
Saying pro-monarchy is a bit like it's an saying if people like the previous regime, I would say more than 95% of people are gonna say yes. If you say
Mhm.
pro-monarchy, that's gonna change what percentage of people are gonna support that. And if you say like who supports the prince now, that's also another question. So I think a lot of the opposition are doing like a disservice by not by conflicting these, but it's like
Mhm.
it's kind of similar. Like I said before in this chat that I personally haven't an anecdotal like evidence of seeing someone supporting the prince specifically, like that kind of thing in person. I mean, but there are people that support them. There are a lot of people that support the monarchy, the previous government. I
Yeah,
mean.
the Pahlavis.
have you?
Yeah,
So like
Pahlavis.
when
Yeah,
they
but
say
Not the
so when they say the
Khachars.
monarchy, would they like a constitutional government, or what type of powers are they envisioning when they're saying like they're
I
pro?
think people are. I think it's very obvious what people want. It's just a democracy that's secular, and the prince that also he's a very good talker, and he's a like his ideology and his whatever he says and does is usually good. Like I've never seen him say anything that's not right or something. His actions are sometimes questionable politically, but in
Yeah.
general or whatever he says is always right on the spot. We need a secular, democratic
So like I haven't
country
followed.
a secular
That's-
democratic government that holds the national interest of the people. Like this is the only thing we want. We don't want it to be a theocracy like it is now. We don't want religion in our schools. We don't want religion in our to force us how to live, how to act, what to say. And we want to be able to elect, to not have electioneering, to not have a guardian council that pick and choose who they want to choose. And we want to choose what we put our national interests into, not to invade foreign countries for no reason, for like whatever Shia purposes, for expanding their revolution. We don't want to do these kinds of things. We want to live like people that have a government that works for them. Everything what people want is this. Or if they say that we want Pahlavi, this is the reason they say this, is that before a big criticism of the protests or anything happening in Iran from mostly the reformists or the conservatives was that you guys know what you don't want, that is this regime. You don't know what you want to have. And there's always like this bullshit question and so on, like how do you know what you want? Like you have to go there has to be a referendum to see what people want. This is the answer to that in some regards, that we want a system that works like that works in the interest of the people. Sorry if I want to...
And to clarify, Reza Pahlavi himself, the guy that everyone is calling out in the streets, he doesn't want a monarchy himself. He wants a secular democratic country.
Absolutely
That's
not. No.
But he said
His stance is he's a
it,
Republican. He's not a monarchist himself.
I thought he said, and you guys probably
Yeah.
follow this.
Yeah. There are interviews with him.
Says this over and over every time.
Sorry, overload.
Yeah, I thought I heard him say it like he doesn't want a monarchy, but he said something like how if they wanted one, if they did, he'd be fine with it. I could be wrong though, so please correct me if I'm wrong.
If anyone's got a link to that, because I'm just going to say, because I can see Owen Jones here, a journalist on Twitter, saying if Reza Pahlavi takes control of Iran, he will set up a brutal dictatorship like his father's. His country would face hideous bloodletting and plausible civil war. Iran deserves to be free and democratic. That's not a pro-American dictatorship. What's your thoughts? What's your thoughts on journalist Owen Jones' take?
Well, I mean,
because
it's bullshit. This is pro-regime or whatever. It's like this is not even worth talking about.
Yeah.
This is basically the anti-Pahlavi kind. So there are. I talked about this in the chat before you were here. So basically, there are kinds of Western leftists or Iranian leftists that are diaspora, or this kind of person that have some Islamic background as well. These guys might hate the regime, but they also hate the Pahlavi a lot. So this is the kind of viewpoint that they hate them without any reason. Like it's just even there are some people that hate the Pahlavis, but would say absolutely they would pick that over the regime. But there are people that would pick the regime over them. So this is that kind of rhetoric. It's just it's absolutely pro-regime and disgusting. Like there's no way, and at this stage, this is not at all helpful.
Well, there's also lefties who hate him because they see him as like they see him as like his father. They basically think he's just like a Western collaborator, or traitor, or whatever. Like I remember
as a puppet.
a certain streamer I watched, he was parodying that stuff too, and it's really annoying because
Very sad, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, granted, I'm a hot take. I'm not a fan of the original Shah regime from what little I've read about it, but I mean, compared to this current Ayatollah, it's like night and day, I guess.
Yeah. I think actually the most prevalent view in Iran is actually what you said, is that people don't like the previous regime that much, but they would absolutely say, oh, obviously that's better than it. I think that also would be a similar view with like a similar kind of support is also that they would absolutely support the regime. I'm in that camp now. I believe that they have the things that they did that were wrong were politically absolutely justified at the time. There was no other way to go against like Islamic radicals that were fused with like this lefty revolutionary ideology. Like there was no other way to combat these guys than to like crack down on them, because they were like murdering prime ministers, they were terrorizing people. Like what do you do when the country goes to that stage?
I did see that Rudy Giuliani was actually complaining about Reza, but apparently Rudy Giuliani also had ties to the MEK, so that's a whole other thing.
Yep.
This time
around?
There is no Masha Amini this time, but this is essentially just the trigger for what this was just the like collapse of the real, right? The currency over there, and just like the general economic catastrophe, right? And the water crisis.
One of the reasons that not many protests didn't work out was because we had no leader. Like, okay, we conquered the streets, but what was coming next? No one has any idea. This time we have a leader, and that changed a lot because his call to action was last night, and because of that, the whole internet is gone. I think the impact of his leadership, him coming and giving out his first call to action, was something that the regime didn't expect, that it could have this kind of an impact, and they just hit the panic button. I think they gaslit themselves that he doesn't have that kind of an influence on Iranians, and their calculation turned out to be very wrong. That's why this protest is way, way out of control.
Yeah, and one thing I want to say is that sadly, there are many, like you just showed me a journalist, right? This guy that was saying something.
Yeah.
Sadly, many of the mainstream media is against the people of Iran. It's very like it's even Iranian media. There's this BBC Persian. That's you just saw that guy talking. That was to BBC. There was you just said that the Prince guy had a then what do you call it? He called people out to go to the streets on to specific days. BBC, the Persian BBC, wanted to report on this. So this is the thing. During the previous protest 40 years ago, when Khomeini gave a call to protest, they would exactly read it out loud in the radios to people, and this was a thing that people are still thinking about. And now, when they want to put this in the news, they put like a tiny snippet. They just say that he has just said that protesters should come out on 2 consecutive days. They don't even say which days they have to be. I'm trying to find this thing is in Farsi, but I will send it to you if I find. It's very disgusting, like what they are doing. They are openly, like they are doing this political kind of game. They're playing with people's lives and futures. They are like, it's very disgusting. Like people's lives and this whole country's future is on the line, and they're doing petty politics with each other against the most prominent like anti-regime face right now. It's very sad to see.
What are the more. Do you have any gauge over what like the more common talking points are from the protesters? Because I've heard whether is it still mostly focused on the economy, or is it like predominantly down with the regime, or is it just both? Or?
Absolutely, every protest in Iran after the first 2 days is going to be anti-regime completely. Like,
okay,
it goes outside of the scope of what it was originally.
Was it like that? Was it like that in the past with the headscarf protests in 22?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It
okay.
was at the start. It was about. Actually, that one in particular was from the start was against the regime, but the previous one in 2019 or the petrol prices at the start that was economic, but then it started to be like after the first or second day that it didn't back down, and Khamenei said that you should crack down on the protest. The people became every chant was against the regime. So yeah, that's usually how it goes.
To me, it's a snowball effect from the previous protests that didn't came to any conclusion. Like the first one we had, the major one was the election fraud one, where Ahmadinejad came into power and people called him a cheater, and that came to no conclusion. People moved on to the next protest and took that experience that they had, that the government doesn't respect their decision making, to the petroleum one, and then they understood that the government is willing to kill people, and then they took that experience to Mahsa Amini protests. Now they know that reforming doesn't work. They know that they don't care about our wants and needs, and they in the Mahsa Amini protests we understood that they don't respect our wants, like our basic freedoms. And this time we understood that we need a leader. With all of that experiences combined, we came to this conclusion that there is no discussion to be had with a government that doesn't respect its own people. So it's now where we are at the point that there's a deadlock between the government and the people. Like the government is not willing to change, and the people don't accept this situation anymore. Like we're done.
But how do you see it resolving? Like, what will happen for the regime to fall? Like,
based on what I've seen today, the Khamenei came and speak. Based on what he said, I don't think they're willing to change, and they're willing to kill everyone to stay in power. So I guess that some kind of an intervention might be needed. I'm not sure. Like this is a deadlock.
So you think like
or a coup d'etat, or a coup d'etat, yeah.
Or
the military against the IRGC, or like Israeli United States intervention. That's how you see it playing out.
Maybe, I'm not sure. Like we don't have the power. Like we are not fighters. We're just secular people, normal people that want to have a freedom. That's all. But they are willing to kill to just stay in power. We are not like that.
Yeah. And there is a wrong take that goes around, and many people have this, is that the Khamenei is gonna flee the country. Like I don't see who got this take first. It's very wrong. They're not gonna go. In my opinion, he's not gonna flee. He's gonna stand until the last second. He's much more ideologically driven than that. He believes in what he's doing. Well, that's what I think, at least. And about the foreign intervention thing, I think the people, and first time in all of these protest history, have actually the support of the international community behind them. Before this, it was all just playing games in behind and under the table, dealing with the regime. This time, the Europeans are not being shy with the regime, because they have seen the past 3 years, regime has supported Russia with their drones, like they are attacking Poland or whatever. So on that side, they are not shy anymore to deal with the regime to get cheap oil. So their interest is not to appease the regime. The US does not have a Democrat in power that wants to empower the reformists or something like that, like Obama or Biden. So and Israel has also attacked before, so they are also like on the alert to like strike the regime centers again. So in this regard, the regime is alone, and they have lost their allies as well. They don't have Syria, they don't have Venezuela, they only have like North Korea now, I guess. They don't have anyone that can like support them from abroad. Other than Russia,
Well,
obviously.
Well,
Other
I
than
was also
Russia.
thinking about the other way around that I only read this recently, just in like a paragraph, that the popular mobilization forces, the Axis supported guys in Iraq, that are potentially that they're potentially going to be facing the Iraqi state after the end of this year because I think the Iraq are saying that they're probably going to try to
pressure,
because the US are going to withdraw in September apparently, and then the Iraqis are saying that they're going to go after the rest of the PMF at that point. Has that got any bearing on, like, is that like a prevalent thing in the discourse in Iran now as well?
No,
like,
not too much. No, not too much. But the thing is that people are against foreign intervention. They people don't want, if possible, they don't want like foreign boots on Iranian soil. Obviously, they don't want like any kind of attack if possible. The minimum thing they wanted until now was them not to support the regime, not to appease them, to put them out of like diplomatic relationship, and they have done that in the past few years, in the past year mostly, with the new sanctions and stuff. So in that regard, the regime is very alone. And if they start actually killing people now, I don't see like why wouldn't a like Gaddafi style intervention from whatever, like, because this is a charter in the UN as well. You can't just kill your own people. Like, it's absolutely lawful for every country in the world to intervene if there's like a mass genocide or a massacre happening somewhere. So in that regard, I hope that this comes to conclusion. In my opinion, the best thing that could happen is that because the higher officers and like the IRGC or even the Artesh to less extent, mostly the IRGC, they're not gonna back down because they have too many interests. There's no reason for them to not fight for it. They might flee in the end. But the best thing that would happen is like an internal coup d'état, that they would against themselves, not to like change the regime, to so that basically the Artesh would come in and say they are on what do you call it? Is they are not on either person's side. So and if that happens, and they just collapse on internal pressure, that would be the best outcome. The worst outcomes is that somehow, and this feels likely and it's very sad, is that someone like Rouhani or any of these reformist type or the current president Pezeshkian, these might basically frame the West and basically use them and make them think that they are the way forward, so that Trump goes and supports them to overthrow the regime and they become in power. That's a very terrible scenario because that's just going to be a continuation on the regime on some regards. I hope that doesn't happen, but these are like the best and worst scenarios that I can think of, the outcomes of this.
Okay. Is there any coalition between like the secular people and the moderately religious folks within these protests? I'm only asking this because is there any coalition with the secular folks and the moderately religious people in these protests, right? I'm asking this because the IRGC, from my understanding, is like extremely fanatical, and so if you can like get some like some part of like the IRGC that's like religious, but they understand like the plight of like the moderately religious people who are protesting. You can
that's a good point. Yeah, like if you look at the whole population, I think more than 90% or 95% of whole people, like the population, is against the regime. But how many of these are like conservative religious people? I think most of the conservative religious people are against the regime. The most radical ones, I mean they would support the regime still has supporters, and those are mostly the radical religious ones. And there is in these protests, and the last time specifically, there were a lot of more conservative people, even in my own family, that would support these protests. Like they were hijabis themselves; they would wear the hijab, but they didn't support. They would support the right of others to wear what they want. So obviously, even in this, the protest started from the bazaar, the trading center in Valias.
Bazaar.
Yeah. So that those people are extremely conservative, and they are also religious, mostly religious conservative. So yeah, obviously, the problem is secularism versus versus like religious, political religion, political Islam, and this has manifested itself as well. So there are religious people that are against the regime, obviously, absolutely.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, I appreciate you, Loner, for like covering the Iran stuff on the news. It's really heartwarming as well for me.
Well, if I don't do it, it's just going to be Fox News and Asmongold. So someone's gonna fill the gap. Shit.
Well, listen.
BBC started to cover us after 2 weeks.
Hey, what?
BBC started to cover us after 2 weeks. They just noticed
the BB fucking C. You know, it just takes a little bit of prodding.
Well, listen. Iran might no longer have the access, but at least they have Western streamers on Twitch and stupid college kids. That'll totally save them.
What was I going to say? So does this already feel like it's eclipsing any of the other previous protests? Does it already feel like it's bigger, or that it's more
already bigger
regime change than reformist? Yeah, okay.
A very big margin, yes.
The regime change, there is no reformist anymore. Like that doesn't in the mass of the people, there is nothing like that anymore. Like they don't have any political power anymore. The reformist type, they are absolutely they have turned into the backup of the regime. The only thing that they are relevant now is foreign support. If the West starts supporting the reformists, that's a problem. But they don't have any grassroots. They don't have any support of the people. They don't have any.
Is there much
on how unpopular they are? You can just go to their like Instagram accounts and see how much traction they get. Like on the post regarding this latest protest, they got like 2,000 likes, and that was it. And people just like commenting vulgar things towards them.
And was this the case in 2022? Hang on, was this the case in 2022 as well? Did reformists, were they considered as good as dead back then as well?
So there is I think in 2019 this was the last time that they had any relevance. The problem is that we had the 2019 protest. This is not the 2020. The 2019 protest happened under a reformist president, and the massacre happened under a reformist president, under command of the reformist president. So the problem is, and people have chanted from back then, so in 2019, that reformist, conservative, both of you are done. So these were the chants that people would say. So people have gone over these guys. They had many chances before to change things, to like move for actual reform, actual change, rather than the stupid reform that they're talking about. Some of them have embraced it to some extent. Like there's a guy Tajzadeh. He was the Ershad minister, the Ershad minister under the Khatami presidency. He's a prominent a reformist figure. Mousavi, who is also still in custody, so under house arrest. So these guys have to some extent changed their views. That is under massive political pressure from the people, that they have changed their views to be more radical. But even then, they are not radical enough for what people are saying in the streets. So they have completely lost the plot. They are very irrelevant now, sadly. Like that was the actual way to change this, to actually fix this regime, was through actual reform, and those people were not strong enough. Like that is how it is.
And is there someone in chat was?
Is there much being? Is there much being said as well about the prospect of foreign intervention? Like, are Trump's words having any weight on the protesters? Or
yes, absolutely.
On that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's very heartwarming, and it's very for people to see that there's a president that says we're gonna attack, and after seeing that he actually attacked Venezuela, so his words have, even though I know he bullshits a lot, so you have to, like, the people of Iran they had, even in the, I remember the first time he was president, there was a video of people just interviewing like grandmas on the street, and they would say, "Oh, Trump, go and fuck these mullahs," everyone was happy for that. And I think, you can't just trust Trump on whatever he says. But yeah, I mean, absolutely, people are right to be happy about it, about the support, because you know that you have more power. You know that the regime has a bigger price to pay if they actually try to crack down on them. So absolutely, and people in Iran actually are, to extent that I saw, are not that anti-foreign intervention as you might think. I personally, I hate it absolutely very much, but there are many people that are not anti-foreign intervention in cases like the previous war with Israel. People were not against that because they just attacked the regime members. They just destroyed regime centers. They destroyed everything that had to do with the regime. They destroyed. I think we didn't talk about that last time. They attacked the Sedosima, and everyone in the West said, "Oh, this is a war crime. This is Sedosima." That was the most based bombing I've seen in my life. That day, I was orgasming from happiness.
Wait, what was
the same
that?
day?
What's that? Where did they bomb?
It's the propaganda. It's not very good to say that because there were civilian workers there, obviously, but that is the center of political propaganda that they were spreading. And they didn't destroy it. They didn't bomb it to the ground.
Was that the lady doing that fucking?
Yeah, it was like softer bombs.
Yeah, was that the video with the woman doing the big speech before she got bombed?
Yeah.
Okay,
So before this happened, me and my family, before days of this happening, we would talk and we would say, "How have they not bombed that yet?" Because you would watch on the TV this bullshit, and we didn't have internet back then, so it was weird for us that they haven't done this. So when they did it, we said, that's, and they bombed Evin prison. That was the center of this fear in the hearts of people that every political prisoner goes there and many people get killed there. They bombed that place. That place does not have any strategic interest to them, but they did it anyway. They bombed Basij centers that didn't have any strategic interest to them, but they did it anyway. So many of these people were absolutely happy with. The only part that people were not happy with were innocent people that were killed. Innocent people. I'm not even counting the families of the commanders. I mean, innocent people. I think there were at least hundreds of people that died, that were killed because of the bombings. But the rest of them all of them were the regime members. So in that regard, people are not that against foreign intervention. They hate foreign intervention when it's pro-regime, when they glaze the regime, when they behind the backs of the people, they talk with the regime, they support the regime. They don't want that. They want the international community to abandon the regime and let the people deal with them themselves. Yeah. Sorry for
I had a question about that, if I may.
Yep.
Sure. So there's talk within Israel right now that that we shouldn't because there's talk. Netanyahu is talking again about not bombing Iran per se, but hinting at it. And there's talks that we shouldn't do it now because a foreign intervention, or especially by Israelis, might actually rally people under the regime as against an outside force. And I was wondering if there's any merits that you think to that kind of argument.
So my opinion is that what Israel did in last war, the worst thing they did, the most horrible thing they did, was that they didn't finish the job. They didn't kill Khamenei. They just let him live, and that was because of, in my opinion, short-sightedness. It was because they didn't calculate that they would be able to get to this point, and they weren't politically ready. So they didn't make the calculation that this would happen. So they didn't talk to Trump or the international community to, hey, we want to actually end them. They didn't have the foresight. And when they won, they just couldn't do it because of political short-sightedness. And so many people, innocent people, were killed, and yet Khamenei remained. So that was the worst outcome of that. Any foreign intervention that the regime is alive afterwards is bad. The regime has to be destroyed if foreign intervention happens. Because if foreign intervention means destruction, means higher prices, means more crackdown on the protesters, means less connection to the world, and flights canceling, people's lives being destroyed, people getting killed. It has all the negatives of a war, and you don't even get the positive of the regime being destroyed. So what's the point? If foreign intervention has to end in a collapse of the regime, for it to be worth it for the people.
Can I just ask
Well,
though?
you-
Can I
you
just ask
cannot-
because you've lived in Iran? How common is that sentiment? I feel like maybe again I'm Western brain. Like I could never imagine, even if I hated who was in charge of me, like wishing another country would come and bomb us. Like is that common in Iran or?
That's a very good question. Absolutely. So in Iran, the nationalist, the people in power, what is their ideology? They are Islamist. They are lefty. They are not any kind of lefty. They are like the crazy kind of, like Khamenei is the kind of Soviet anti-imperialist, like that kind of lefty. So these guys have time and time again showed that they do not care anything about Iran's interest, Iran's history, Iran's culture, Iran's people, most importantly. There are speeches of Khamenei. There is this channel, sadly it's in Farsi, but he puts videos of, it's a very good source and people running it are very smart. He has time and time again said that Cyrus the Great was a war criminal, the Iranian history, other pundits of the regime have said that Iranian history is full of, it's terrible, it's imperialism, it's bullshit, they have, if you live in Iran, you can feel them trying to delete our history. They have tried to destroy Cyrus's grave in Shiraz. They have just tried to destroy any sort of thing. And this is why it was so comical when after the war happened, Khamenei went to, in the first public appearance, he said to his singer, or whatever it's called, I don't know what the maddah is called in English. It's like a religious singer. He told him to sing some bullshit song that was a copy of an Iranian song. It was like a nationalistic joke, and everyone made fun of that he's apparently now pro-nationalistic. And after that, they made Iranian themed parties. Like they went 180 degrees on this Iranian hate. So these guys are not Iranian. They make this absolutely clear with how they treat the culture. They absolutely treat the people like shit. They don't allow anyone to have any freedoms on how they wear, what they do, what sex life they want to have, how they want to be educated. They have pushed Islamic things into the culture, and they have pushed out the Iranian. They don't let Iranian holiday. There's only one Iranian holiday in Iran that's Iranian national party, or that's a holiday, and that's the Nowruz, that's the New Year. Other than that, none of the the national days are holidays. Only the Islamic ones. So they are absolutely anti-Iranian culture, and for that, people see them as invaders. People see them as people. People see them as leaders that have just conquered this land. The only difference between like conquering the conquerors and these guys is that these don't have like a geography that they came from. They came from like the depths of history, and they claimed this country for themselves. People absolutely hate them, and they see themselves closer to the interest of foreign countries for that reason, and that's very sad to see. But what do you do then? Because your nationalistic tendency tells you, this is your country, this is your borders, but your borders are not being attacked. The leaders and the people that have destroyed this for you, they have, through their own action, invited this attack on them. So why would you be sad about that? And this sentiment was everywhere. I talked to even government workers, to traders, to like Bazari people back when I was in Iran. And those people are, conservative. They don't, but even they were saying that why these inept leaders, these inept generals brought a foreign war into our borders. Why were they so incompetent? So everyone saw that as no one was behind the regime in the previous war. Like that was Western propaganda that people supported that. Absolutely not.
So no one, like vast majority, did not became more patriotic or something.
Absolutely not. No, that was totally a lie. Like I even fell for that to some extent, but that was totally nothing like that happened. It was just some diaspora, and the rest of them were just pundits and these sleeper agent lefty and pro-regime guys that were in the opposition. That were, some of them were just even calling for execution of people that were like cheering or something. Like they were crazy. So That was pure propaganda.
I mean, to be fair, some portion of the population that were anti-regime came to the side of the regime when the war happened, but after that they just abandoned the regime again. But it was out of fear, I guess, and it was a small.
Not the
portion of
population, the politicians. They were the reformist politicians. They were not. They went against. They went behind the regime, and even they said, during the war, the prices of everything was down. There was no power outage whatsoever. Even like the day before that, we had power outage. During the war, there was not even a single power outage. Everyone was so nice to people. There was no hijab problem. Everything was great. They would say, in the future, we will even open the internet to everyone. And after the war ended, what happened? They just came back to factory setting. They just wanted to crack down on hijab again. There were plans for that. They wanted to. They started working on restricting the internet again. So the guys that went behind the regime were the reformist politicians. They were not the people.
I mean, some portion of the people went behind the regime to support them against Israel, but after it was all said and done and the war was over, and they saw that the regime went back to the factory settings, they just dropped the ball on the regime again. And just...
I doubt people. No, I really doubt that. Maybe a very small
it's a small portion, but I personally know people that went to support the regime because there was a foreign interference in our country.
So
that is way overblown in Western media. That is way overblown.
Yeah, it
sounds like you both agree that it was. Yeah, it sounds like you both agreed like it was not that common, but it existed. Ali, I was going to ask you: did you? So, as far as the other sentiment goes, of like people feeling relief or even celebratory about like the other countries bombing the regime, like, did you notice much of that, or like how common do you think that is?
It was very common. Like the amount of memes and jokes I saw and I laughed to on Twitter or on my social media or from my every relative or friends or anyone I know of, it was insane. On the first 3 days, were like so many memes and jokes.
And are these are these people living in Iran, or are these all diaspora, or?
Yeah, people living in Iran. Like most of my relatives and family are inside the Iran.
Was it safe to do that, to meme on social media about the regime getting bombed?
Yeah, they couldn't do anything about it. Like there were threats that people would deal with you after it's all said and done, but they didn't act on it.
Same with the hijabs then, right? Just like there's too many people doing it to... Okay. Huh. Interesting. And you think that was a lot more... And so you're both saying that sentiment was a lot more common than people rallying around the flag?
Absolutely.
Yeah. It was mostly the older generation that were like grew up hating... learning to hate like Israel, UK, and the West in general. Those like the older generations were kind of small portion of them went towards to support the regime, but it only lasted for a month.
That's interesting. I don't know if obviously you guys don't have to answer this, but someone's asking in chat if you guys are city Iranians or from the districts.
I'm a city Iranian.
I'm city as well, yeah.
Okay. Does that mean you guys are more progressive than the people from the districts?
That's a good question. I'm not sure.
My city was very, I don't know how to say it, pro-Islam. Isfahan is very like a religious city.
Conservative, yeah.
Wait, Isfahan's where one of the nuclear sites was, wasn't it?
Yeah, Natanz.
So did you know people who witnessed the bombings, or I mean, I'm guessing it's still relatively far.
It's very far from the civilized areas.
I know people that saw the bombing. Yeah, my family members saw the bombing.
In Tehran, yeah, you saw.
Oh, not in Tehran. No, the nuclear sites.
Oh, really?
And not Natanz, the other one. What was the one deep in the ground? What was that called? Bordeaux, yeah.
Bordeaux.
Mm-hmm. They said they were like, I think miles away, very far, and they said that at the middle of the night the ground shook and they went out and there was orange smoke in the distance, so it was something like that.
What's the one there's one that wasn't bombed that's deeper than Bordeaux?
Kolang Ghazla. That's a new one, I think.
Yeah. Apparently, there's been increased activity around there since the war. Because obviously, because that one's deeper and it wasn't bombed.
The whole nuclear thing was just a meme. Like, it became like they put 20 years of our lives and money into this, and then in the end, it was just a negotiation for them to ask Trump to bomb it so it ends the war. So it became just a prop in the end. It was so it was so sad to see that.
It's a lot of taxpayers' money, eh?
Yeah.
How do you feel about the trade and economy minister being in Lebanon today?
Economy. I don't know foreign ministers in Lebanon.
So Abbas Arakchi, the foreign minister.
Yeah, that's the foreign minister.
So this fucking LBC is translated as economy and trade. Rip. Fuck this info.
They I think they didn't even what do you call it when a foreign person comes, they like put red carpet for him, and they didn't even do anything for it. They just put like a tiny little rug on there.
You're right. I misread it. It was the Lebanon economy minister with the Iranian foreign minister. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Fuck.
There was no meeting scheduled. He just went there.
Huh.
He wants to meet with like probably with not the. He wants to meet with the Hezbollah or probably something like that. Oh, maybe I'm wrong.
Shit.
Someone was asking in chat earlier if there are any anti-Iran protesters who are armed or how many there are.
I have seen videos of that. Yes, it's mostly in the western regions in Kurdistan. Maybe some Baluchis as well, but I would imagine more in Kurdistan. Yes, but it's not the majority. I think that's like less than 1/10 of a like it's the majority are everywhere are unarmed. There's no weapons anywhere.
So you don't have any like factions or militias that the regime fights with?
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Sadly not.
Even in Kurdistan, there's no like.
In Kurdistan, yeah, there are parties. Yeah. I mean that is true. The faction that existed before was the what you call MEK. Those guys were the OG like anti-regime, but they sadly, 30 years ago or something, they moved to Iraq and they're not operational anymore.
What are the goals of the Baloch people in Iran? Do they see their fellow Baloch people in Pakistan and they want a separate state?
I haven't heard of that at all. No, I haven't heard of that sentiment. They are Sunni, so they probably support some kind of religious, what do you call it, like freedom and equality. Obviously, I have not heard of Baluch. Independence or anything. Like, I haven't heard that sentiment at all. I know there are some people that are Kurdish independent supporters, but not at all Baluch. No, I doubt that.
The real question.
The Baloch people would be to the very east, right?
If I remember, I thought the Baloch independence movement in Iran was slightly smaller than the one in Pakistan, right? Or it wasn't as active as the one in Pakistan.
I guess one other big question then is how are the Iranian Jews doing? Do we know what's going on with them?
No.
Okay.
There are not a lot of them, so
yeah.
To be honest, I don't know either.
In my life, I only had one Sunni friend. I never had a Jewish friend.
Shit. What's the what's the relate? Because I know that the Kurds have obviously been involved in these protests as well. What's the relation typically between the Kurdistan area and the rest of the country with regards to protests?
In general, they are nationalistic, and like the Dast protest, the Mahsa Amini protest, the main chant that was "Woman Life Freedom" that came from Kurdistan. That's the Kurdish chant. So they are absolutely. They are the main people that, especially in Kermanshah, Kermanshah is next to Kurdistan. So there are people there protesting, and there's been heavy crackdown there as well. And yeah, I mean, it's, I would say as big as other places, or even bigger, the protests there. Maybe because of the crackdowns, it might sometimes die off or get smaller, but in general, yeah.
Okay. Well, listen.
Usually, by the way, the Jews don't really are very vocal because they're afraid to speak up. That's from previous protests, I think, at least. I don't know this one.
Well,
I confirm.
And they're a small minority, like they don't. And yeah.
Someone someone in chat mentioned it. I think one of the reasons the MBK fell off popularity is because they collaborated with Saddam Hussein during the Iran-Iraq War.
Yeah. And the violence, and I mean,
bad idea.
Main reason was that, and in general, they just fell off. Like, because they were outside, they couldn't do anything of substance anymore. They are still active though. Like, they are in universities and some places. They still have agents and stuff, and not agents. I mean, supporters that would like do stuff. I've noticed that in the protests myself. Those people, and they are effective in what they do. Like, yeah.
What even is the MEK's ideology? Are they like leftist? Are they like?
Yeah, they are basically the same ideology as the regime. They're almost not different. Maybe a bit more lefty spice, but they're the same. They're lefty radical Islamists, you could say.
Oh, so Hassan fans. I see.
Yeah, the regime is Hassan fan. Dude, like Khamenei is basically one-to-one Hassan. Like everything he says, the way he talks, everything is exactly the same.
Well, I mean, the Ayatollah, they know they have Western supporters. I mean, Khalid Mashal of Hamas, he talked about that too. They know who to talk to. It's because those are the only people who will.
Yeah, I don't know how they get funded. I heard somewhere they had an oil reserve somewhere. I don't know how that works, but yeah, they have a lot of money. Like, they invite big people. They invite Michael Pence. They invite the other John Bolton. They have invited this Rudy Giuliani guy to their events. Like, they are very well funded. And they are sometimes they are effective against the regime. The problem is they are not exactly enemies of the regime. Like if Pahlavi wants to come back, they're gonna support the regime. Like, that's the problem. These guys, they hate the regime, but they hate the Pahlavi and the Iranian nationalistic. Even more, they hate that even more because they are leftists. You know, they are global kind of anti-nationalist leftists. The worst thing than nationalism is like anti-nationalism. It's like the worst kind of ideology to have for a country.
Loner is watching an AI video of Greenlanders walking to shopping malls and seeing McDonald's and Target because apparently that's what Trump's going to bring to their island.
This looks so fucking sad. Like, living like this. How is this good propaganda? It looks like I would kill myself if I lived like this.
They should just kidnap the head of Nuuk or whatever the capital is called and just call it American territory.
Fucking hell.
They should kidnap the monarch of Denmark. Ooh, never mind. Someone's going to take that. Someone's going to take that as advice.
He just put himself on the Danish intelligence watch thingy.
Yeah, for all 12 of them. I don't know.
Yeah. Hey, I do not underestimate the Danish. I never underestimate the Danish.
Good point.
If they can make a Danish pastry, they can get to you.
There's something very soul crushing about the McDonald arches, like against the Northern Lights.
Okay, guys. I'm gonna do some more little news bits and then maybe Silk Song. Does anyone else have any final thoughts?
All right.
Thanks for having us on stream. Thanks.
Cool. Appreciate it, guys. I'm sure I'll talk to you soon, depending on what happens.
Sure. I'll try to be in contact if there was points we can.
By the way, new videos are coming out. It seems like some people have internet access. I linked one. It's from Hamadan. Yeah.
Where did you link it?
On the general chat.
Wait, how is Hamadan doing? I'm sorry, it's a bit of a selfish question. But how is Hamadan doing?
In the general chat in here.
What's Hamadan? Is it what?
It's a city.
Oh, okay.
It's a city.
Why is someone specifically interested in how Hamadan's doing?
It's where my grandma was born and raised.
Oh wait, so we have 3 Iranians in chat. What the fuck?
No,
well, I'm Israeli. Yeah, I'm Israeli Jewish.
Oh, nice.
Iranian descent. Yeah.
Very good.
Fuck. That's rare.
This is a mind fuck, man.
It's not so rare in Israel, to be honest. Like, we have a lot of Iranian descent.
Should we support
people?
Yeah.
Are they more? Are they more common as Ethiopians or?
Yeah.
Oh.
I would say so. I mean, I don't know the demographics.
Same percentage, I would say. I don't know. You don't
like not as common as Iraqis, but more so than like most. I would say most Eastern sub-ethnicities.
Yeah, I remember
That would be
seeing
the right
people-
term.
there
in
are
Israel.
Iraqis everywhere. Yeah, hella,
People
hella
still come
Arabs.
to Israel from Iran, like today. Like I know people like 5 years ago who came, like did an aliyah from Iran.
I don't know.
Like,
I know that I have family in LA that still like keeps like contact with family there, but we obviously don't. It's too dangerous for them.
Very sad. That's very heartbreaking.
But I can tell you that at least
Why
with my
can't you? Why
family,
don't
like
you
we're
just?
completely
Why don't
praying
you?
for you guys.
Why don't you just get a foreign number like from EU or UK and call them that way, or like with VPN?
I don't know.
Is it gonna be that risky?
I don't know. There's an urban legend among Israeli Iranians. I don't know if it's true. I've never tested it, but the rumor has it that I'm actually eligible for an Iranian citizenship. Like I have a right to return kind of thing. Just need to give up my Israeli citizenship and probably I don't know, be tortured as a spy or whatever.
No, I know. I don't. I'm not saying you should go back. I'm saying you say you want to stay in contact. You can call them via like secure messaging services. Like
yes, but not really. Like it's not really safe for them. Maybe they'll say something. Maybe I'll say something that someone might think is something else, and I'm living in a democracy. I'm whatever democracy we have left. I'm safer on that ground. They're not as safe, so I don't want to take that chance.
Well, I wish the best for you, man. Then I hope you get to talk to them soon.
Thanks, and I wish the best for you. I like for the Iranian people. Like I know the sentiment in generally in Israel is very much like that. Like we generally really love the Iranian people, and we see that it's the regime, not the people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got this video of Hamadan. There's two of them here, isn't there? I'm streaming on the Discord if you want to see it.
I can definitely say, like, with regards to Iran, Israeli diaspora, because, like, I'm Israeli diaspora, there's very much, like, the attitude regarding the Iranian diaspora, like, hey, guys, we're allies. Like, there are now, like, Iranian lion flags in, like, most pro-Israeli diaspora events.
What?
Did you cut
Like,
out?
there's a strong alliance
Alright.
between the two diasporas at this point.
What, Iranian and Israeli diaspora? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Like, I can definitely say, like, from within Australia at least, that's what I've seen. Like, a lot of closeness between the two.
That's a common thing with the diaspora and the Israelis. They love each other. I've seen this. Yeah, it's a case.
Okay, I want to watch this. Yeah, on Discord you can click the watch stream thing if you want to see this. But this was Hamadan today, right?
Yeah, 1 hour.
It's a lot of this now, isn't it? There's a lot of stuff on fire and shit. Is this other video from there as well, or?
No, it's somewhere else. It's Tehran.
Is it
Ashrafi
Tehran?
Isfahani in Tehran. Yeah.
Wait, was
I
that?
don't know if
is
you've
that the lion
seen
flag?
the. Yeah. Have
Yeah.
you seen? People are so based. They don't care about like some cringe analyst like misinterpreting their acts. They just burn like the regime flags. You know, the flag with the thing in the middle.
Yeah.
They just burn that, even though that's Iran. Like they don't care. Like it's so big. I just love it. I just love it so much.
Regime can't do shit now.
Yeah.
Like,
No, like even they don't even care that this might be interpreted in like an anti-nationalistic way. They don't give a shit. Like they know what they want and they do what they do. It's
Yeah.
very great.
Let's see this
I mean-
video as well. Hang on. I might need to know what's being chanted here, actually.
This is the year of war. This is the year of blood, and Sayyid Ali is gone. Well, that's what it is.
Said Ali Khamenei.
Yeah.
Khamenei will be
Oh,
gone.
Said
This
Khamenei.
year is the year of blood.
They
Okay.
say this a lot. Yeah, this is a famous chant. سلسال خونه. Very based. Very based.
he seems to be having fun.
Yeah. You don't know when you're in a protest like this how good it feels when you're actually there. Like it's such a
It's like a euphoria.
transcended moment. Yeah, like you feel safe. So even though you don't actually are not safe, you feel like I don't know how to say. But you feel like after all this pressure that you cannot say what you have in your mind, like you are scared. Finally, somewhere that everyone is saying what you are thinking. It's a thing.
Is it just a Farsi thing, or is it actually is it just a coincidence, or is it intentional that some of these protests sound like regime slogans but just twisted, like death to? It's not death to America; it's death to regime. Is that on purpose, or is that just how the language works?
It's like taking their weapon and using it against them.
So they're
that
doing
one
that
in
on purpose.
particular not. That one in particular not, but the diff to Khamenei. But other ones, yeah, absolutely. They make jokes out of them. I remember there was one. There is a famous one that says the blood that is in our veins is sacrificed to our leader. That's the regime slogan or chant. And then the students that we were chanting, we would say because after this was a lot of killing after the massacre process, we would say the blood that is in our veins is the food of our leader. So we would they do this humorous stuff all the time.
All right.
We're saying hail the Pahlavi, yeah, or God bless
Long live the king.
Long live the Pahlavi, yeah.
They're talking about the crown prince.
The crown prince, yeah.
Oh.
No. I don't know.
Javid Shah means.
Javid Shah means. I think it means, but yeah, it means king. Yeah. So they mean Muhammad Reza Shah. Don't think they mean the prince. I don't know.
Okay. That is quite mad. Okay. Well,
this is a very obscure question.
There's one. I don't know if you've seen that or not. There is one that I think it's from yesterday night. There's a big protest, and someone is climbing on top of the a kind of street light, and there's a camera there, and he's climbing it like it's 20 meters off the ground, and he's going there, and he's putting the camera out.
Has there been any kind of fear of regime people infiltrating protests to catch people out? Or?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
it
Yeah, we
has
called
been a
them
common theme.
It's called like it's called a non. What do you call a police without a uniform? What's that called?
Plainclothes police.
Plainclothes, yeah, plainclothes.
So what they do is they come
Undercover.
undercover and join the protest. Even some of them lead the protest to some location, and they just trap you inside and arrest everyone.
Yeah.
Or they will just take you out of the protest. Like they will lure you out and arrest you. That's what
or they just have guns and they shoot people. There are videos of that.
Like in the Mahsa protest, like no one could trust the person next to him. That's how paranoid.
Yeah, that's always how it is. Yeah, so everyone, you should always. I mean, if you ever were following a theocratic regime, you should always like have face masks and cover yourself so the cameras and the people don't recognize you. So afterwards they can retaliate against you. We would after the
this
protest.
Is a very obscure question, but all the fire. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go.
No, your words are more important.
After every
Iranian,
it's nothing special. I mean, after every protest we went, we would have like 2 sets of clothes with us. So after the protest was done, we would go somewhere and we would change the clothes so they wouldn't know this was us. Or go on.
All the fire reminded me of Zoroastrianism for some weird example. Does Zoroastrianism have anything to do in like the revolutionary like talk, and like do people like associate Zoroastrianism with these protests in some in
I
any
don't
way?
think so.
In some way, yes, but it's a very like because we have a tradition. The last Wednesday of every year, there is something called Charshanbe Suri, and that day they make big fires and they jump over. Whereas now it's just a crazy thing. They make bombs and they just make it. It's like a 4th of July but on steroids. It's like very dangerous. Like people die in that day. Like tens of people die from the fire and explosions. So people are. That's a Zartushti thing. That thing. And I think people that are doing this are like unconsciously, subconsciously like affected by that, like because they have experience in making fires and like there's a subconscious connection there. But I don't think like there's an actual I don't think there's actual Zarathushtri influences here.
All right. Okay. Did we have any final thoughts?
In chat,
yeah.
Chat. There are some people saying stampedes and stuff. There is this stampede. I'm just saying this is just the regime talking point. There's no one stampeding anywhere. It's just a large group of people.
Okay.
The regime, everyone who died is being shot at or being run over by motors or whatever. There's no.
Do we know how many Zoroastrians still live and practice the religion in Iran, or is that like unknown?
I don't think you can get an accurate estimate.
I think it's but it's a official religion. You can be a Zarathushtri. There's I don't know
if
how
a
many.
Muslim wants to convert to Zarathusht, what will happen to him? Do you think?
I mean, if you do it publicly, I guess it's deaf, but
yeah,
to any religion. So
it's not an accurate estimate.
No, but
I think
that's to any religion. I mean, yeah, but I mean,
most of them just live in India. Yeah, Parsis in India.
Parsis.
They practice Zoroastrianism.
That's where Farouk Barusa, Freddie Mercury of Queen, he was a Parsi Zoroastrian.
Okay, listen, I'm going to move on to the rest of the stream, okay? But cool, I appreciate you guys coming on, and I'm sure we'll talk soon, okay? Depending on what happens.
All right, thank you.
All right, take care, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, there's your big news, your breaking news for the day, eh? Relevant, if you say so. Wait, I hope it's relevant. Let's see. When he decides to fire the shot. What the fuck? Right. Relevant. Queeman stream talking about me, little old gup.
Yeah, sorry guys, I can't join the freedom protests in Tehran tonight. I'm too busy watching my favorite Israel supporter.
What is the context of this? What's the context of this? Right, I'm gonna dead air. Nice one. From both of us, I guess. No, wait, it's not. I'm paused. He's paused me. This is just Queeman's dead. You can't say way before when it was 2 seconds. Okay, it was 2 seconds before. Gotcha. It's before enough. Problem. Four. Does that comment come from anything, or does it come back? He shot after the way. Is this because I was talking to oh my god, I guess I was talking to them yesterday or the day before, wasn't I? Day before.
What's Spider saying?
He's taking it's Ali, because I was talking to Ali, okay. He's taking a special interest in Spider though.
And like Enlightenment style rights. That can be either left or right or centrist.
As well, it just disgusts me seeing what they do. Like, ripping families apart and shit like that. It's just it's disgusting.
What's your story, Ali?
Good evening. I'm an average normie Iranian.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, are you like a real Iranian, or are you one of those fake ones?
Now we're
that
talking about gay Iran shit. We don't care about Iran.
Gay Iran shit. I love the gay Iran shit.
I don't care that you're from Iran.
So,
classic IT crowd episode. What's Spider saying? What's Spider saying about Asmongold here? Spider.
And then he said something about the Israel supporter. Was he talking to someone in chat or what? By fucking magatards. Oh no.
What for him?
Their fucking mouse over it. Person, why are you waving your fucking? This is just by the way, why are they giving me all this shit that's way before when he decided to fire the shot? Because both his feet are around here when he decides to fire the shot. Huh?
Yeah, sorry guys, I can't join the freedom protests in Tehran tonight. I'm too busy watching my favorite Israel supporter.
Tequila Sunset. If he's calling into a Lonerbox stream, that ain't an average normie, just saying. Sorry, guys, can't join the protest in Tehran tonight. I'm calling into Lonerbox. Okay. Okay. Subscribe, you fucking assholes. I mean, sorry.